Hi and welcome back to another video of jPlay. I am Marcus, and as promised, today I'm doing a solo playthrough of Monster Expedition. I already did a 3-player playthrough, a complete one, so go check it out. But today again I will focus on the solo mode. The game comes with 10 expeditions, I believe. I think I might do expedition number 2 because expedition number 1 seems kind of not really lame, but I think very basic. I think 2 is already quite a challenge, I would say. So let's see how things go. I'm doing this because you asked for it, and especially some of my patrons were asking for that. So thanks so much for your support, and yeah, let's see how things go, shall we? Okay, and here we are. As I mentioned, I'm not going to do the expedition one. The expedition one pretty much tells you are winning automatically when there are only 8 cards basically lying out and I have 1 cage. This is really relatively straightforward one. The next one is already a little bit more challenging because it says we are going for those green monsters and we cannot go for these wild card, the Draco, Chalonia. They do not belong to that. So overall I have to have 7 monsters of the forest and or cages. So any combinations of green monsters and cages will be fine, but I have to have 7 before this draw pile here runs out, and that's only 7 cards. The good thing about this is I'm drawing cages not from this deck, but really from the reserve pile, because otherwise it would be pretty tough, actually, or pretty brutal. So I'm not going to do that. But again, I only have 7 rounds. At the end of each round, 1 card is getting added to the public offering. So it's bit different to basically the normal 2, 3, 4 player game where you only refresh the offering when the active player is getting a cage. Here I was a little bit unfortunate, I believe. Again, the goal of the game is to go for green monsters. The problem is I only have the 2 starting green monsters out. So those are the 3 monsters that came from the draw pile. I have no clue if any green monsters are in here because again I shuffle those completely randomly. But again, the good thing is I also can go for cages. I never played this scenario before, so I really have to see how things go. It's most likely I'm going for those 2. That's kind of easy prey, I would say. But yeah, let's see about that. I could imagine I really have to go for a hell lot of those cages. Maybe getting for the monster traders up there could be something also to consider, but I really need a hell of a lot of dice in order to achieve 40 points. In respect to which camp you can start the game with, it's really completely up to you. In this scenario, I'm going for green monsters, so I went for set number 2 here, which basically allows me to upgrade my green camp a little bit more easily, or at least I have 2 opportunities doing so. For every 8 and for every 3 I can upgrade the green camp. That's definitely something. Given that, I don't know if a lot of green cards will come up, so I'm not sure if that helps me in any way, but I had to make some choice. I'm not using any of those crests in this solo game because again the game is over as soon as I complete my objective of this scenario, or I will lose when I have to bring out something else, and then it doesn't really matter what crests are lying there on the market display. Given that, I think let's totally start the game, and yeah, we will start with some green monsters. So again, I already went through the rules in my multiplayer playthrough, so I very briefly will only touch on those in this scenario here. So first of all, we will get 1 green die here for this camp, and we will also start the first hunt with those 2 hunting die here, the hunting dice, the black one here. So that's pretty much what I can roll. Again, those colored dice are not standard 6-siders, so really the green die here comes with a 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 and an 8. So rolling an 8 is not unlikely here, obviously. And again, this could help me to upgrade my green camp here accordingly. So yeah, basically let's roll those dice, and usually you want some high numbers, but there's also some incentives for low numbers. So every 1, 2 or 3 is also helpful actually. Like this one here. So I have to make a choice now which number to go for. So that's pretty much my choice. I can nominate the 1 or the 2. If I nominate the 1, I have to lock all of those dice here, both of those. And then I can re-roll this 2 here. In this case, I guess let's hold on to the 2, which is not great. Keep in mind, I really want to reach at least an 8 in total in order to get this foxling here, for example. So if I now roll 2 3s, for example, that would be enough. If I roll a 1 or another 2 1s, then most likely I'm not gonna get any of those creatures out there. And again, I only have 7 rounds to achieve my goal. So yeah, let's continue to roll. And if I'm now extremely unlucky, I'm rolling 2 2s on this one here, and then this counts as a bust. And then, yeah, the game is not over, but this would be pretty brutal. Okay, that's a 7 and a 4. I think I will go for the 7 now, so I'm at 9. So the only thing that could really harm me now is if I roll a 2 on this die here, because then, but I will explain that what happens then. And no, that's a 6. Okay, I have to stop here because I have to set aside one number at least. I have to set one number, period. And now I'm counting up basically the results. That's 13, 15 points in total. That's not too bad. So I think in this case, we will go for this foxling here, because again, it could give me a set. It's a 1 victory point, but victory points doesn't really help me here. I need 7 green cards and or cages. That's my first green card. So that's definitely something. We will set it aside. And next we can upgrade our camp. So here we look for every 1, 2, 3 or 8. 8 in this particular case. I only have a 2, which now allows me to upgrade my blue camp here. So the next time I'm using my blue camp, I get to roll 3 hunting dice, black dice, and 1 blue die. So I think that's definitely not a bad thing. I was really hoping to upgrade my green one here, but I think I have to live with that. Last thing to do is to draw another card from the draw pile, and obviously that's not a green card. That's really not great. This comes with a nice special ability, so whoever is rolling a 7, this apparently only matters in a multiplayer game, but includes me too. So if I would roll a 7, I could also upgrade my blue camp here, for example. But again, I need green cards. So yeah, let's go into the next round. And as there is still a green 8 out, I think, why not? Let's go for this camp here again. So again, we haven't upgraded it. It's 1 green die, 2 black die. Again, I could still go for the blue die, but the blue camp doesn't allow me to get green monsters. So in this case, there is this one easy one out. So I think we should try to get it. And if we are extremely lucky, we could gain even 2 cards out of this. So this is basically my bet here. So let's roll those, but I really have to roll incredibly high now. So I will re-roll that. And it's the same crap, actually. It's really the same crap. So I will hold on to the 1. I will re-roll those. Okay, I have to stop. I have to nominate the numbers. I have to lock both of those numbers. So that's 5 points in total, which doesn't give me anything in respect to monsters. I don't get any cages. So in order to get a cage, I need 10 points. And of course, I could go for multiple cards. So let's say I would have rolled a 20. I could go for 2 cages here. But yeah, I can still upgrade my camps, but I'm pretty sure this will not turn out to be pretty. So I have 2 2s, which means I can upgrade the blue camp 1, 2 spaces here. So rolling 4 black dice and 1 blue die here. And I have this 1, which means I can upgrade this camp here. So everything is great, but this one here, wow, that's really painful. That's really, really painful, actually. And I think for my next, I really might want to go for this here, just to roll some dice in order to get as many cages as possible. But before we move into the next round, we will reveal a new card. This is also a change. So again, here could be more than 10 cards that are available. And by the way, I'm also losing the game if there are 13 cards out there. Also something to keep in mind. So I cannot simply go for cages like crazy. I also have to do some damage control up here. And this is another green monster, a forest monster. I think that's okay, but it's 23. But at least it's a target. And I think I have to continue now. But I could also now go for a blue card just to get some cards out. I think I have to do that. I have to stick to the plan. So again, we don't need those crests. Those go back. We will activate the blue camp. So that's blue die. And 4 of those blackish hunting dice. Obviously, the chance to bust is higher now. But I can also roll higher numbers. And I really have to get rid of some of those blue cards out there. That's an 8. I will hold on to the 8 because I can use it to upgrade my green camp too. That's definitely nice. Doesn't matter if it's a blue die or not. It's the number that counts here. And yeah, I will have to reroll all of those again. I can only nominate one number. I will reroll that. Apologies. And that's it's a 6. I will go for the 6. That's 4. That's 14 points in total. Let's roll once more. If these all are 6s now, I'm really in a bad shape. And it's not. It's a 4. Okay, what do we have? We have 28 points. 28. Oh man, we needed one more. Oh, is it? No, wait a second. No, 18 points. 18 points, yeah. We need 19 would be great. 19. So I think we have to continue to roll. If I roll now 4 and 6s here, that's also bad. And no, it's a 5. I think that's pretty great, actually. So that's 10, 18, 23 points in total. And yeah, there is a great card here, but again, it's a green card and I rolled blue dice. So that's not gonna happen. I think I will go for a cage and for a blue card, just again to do some damage control here. So I will go for this because potentially it could give me the benefit here. So if I manage to get a set of 3 of those symbols here, the 3 different symbols, I get to roll an extra die each round. So I think that's not bad at all. This gives me an upgrade on green whenever I bust. That's also nice, actually. Maybe getting for the upgrade. I think that's better. I think that's even better. So if I really bust, so again, I have 23 points. So those are 10 points. I will hold on to this. And then I have 10 more points and I can either go for a cage or I can go for another blue monster. But I think I really want progress. So I will get the cage. So normally you would check it out in standard game. You would score the lower points that's here. But in this case, again, it's simply a cage. So right now, we now have 2 of our 7 cards we need. Keep in mind, it's a combination of green and cages in this case. Really not doing great. I can still do my upgrades. And unfortunately, it's only 1 because I can only use the 8. I don't get any upgrades for 5, 6 or 4s in this case. But that's okay. I can upgrade the green camp. So this gives me an extra black die on my next attempt. That's not a bad thing. Let's reveal a new card. And that's another green card. Okay, here I'm really extremely lucky. So getting those 2 would be pretty amazing. And I need 19 points in order to get those. That's not impossible with 4 dice, I would like to think at least. So we are really down now. I think I can count, right? 4 rounds. So again, I lose when I have to reveal something that I can't no longer reveal. So which happens usually at the end of the round. So when I really, let's say this draw pile is empty and I achieve my goal, I still win the game because this happens at the end of the round. Okay, I guess we have to continue with the green camp here. So that's 1 green and now we are rolling 3 dice in total. And keep in mind, we have this special ability now. So whenever a player is busting, and also very powerful in a multiplayer game, we get an upgrade on our green camp here. Again, this could help us too, obviously. So yeah, but that's for now. Let's roll those dice. And again, ideally, we are rolling a 19, right? That was the plan. At least 19. Yeah, that's amazing. That's not a great start. I will hold on to the 4 and re-roll those. I think that's okay. That's very dangerous. I can't go for the 4 because I already have a 4 here. So this is not allowed. I could go for the 3 and hope for an 8 here, but that's really a long shot. So I think I have to stick to this die, but it's not really dangerous that I'm busting actually, but I have to continue actually. I cannot go for the 6. I have to set aside the 3 now. The good thing is this gives me an upgrade on my green camp too, and I have 13 points, which would still give me a green card actually, but it's really too slow, but it's very dangerous. I mean, I have a 1 out of basically 50% chance that I'm busting now. So if I roll a 3, 4 or 6, I lose the highest die and then I could continue to roll, but then I'm really toast, I believe. So I guess I will stop here, and with my 13 points, I will go for this Hylopoda here, which is 11 point. It has the same ability. Whenever someone is busting, I can upgrade the blue, and this basically adds up, so I can use both of those abilities. So again, busting is not that big of a deal, but I believe it does matter in this solo game because of the time constraint. So yeah, let's go for this monster. I mean, we have now 3 out of 7, still not great. We can do our upgrade because here we have rolled the 3. So we are now rolling 4 dice in total, 4 black dice and 1 green die. So that's really not terrible at all. And last but not least, let's bring out a new card. That's a Tracochelonia. That's a wildcard monster. It's really a great monster. I could steal some cages, and in this case I would steal it from the reserve pile, but it doesn't count for a green monster, unfortunately, and it's 35 points anyway, so I think that's not great. Wow, I'm getting for those 2, that's 31 points I would need to roll, but that's pretty powerful actually. Yeah, which camp to go for? I guess I will stick to the green camp because right now we are rolling 5 dice in total, and I think it's still with a blue one here, my strongest camp actually. I still have 2 bus special abilities, but I don't really want to rely on those actually. And yeah, let's roll those. So that's really a very nice push your luck kind of element, and I really like it actually. It's really a nail biter, and yeah, wow, that's really a very gruesome roll actually. I think I will stick to the 4 for now. Yeah, why not? Oh, that's terrible. I think, yeah, in this case, I will go for the 2 upgrades here. That's 10 points in total. So in theory, I could stop now, but I rather not. Let's do 1 more roll. And that's the 8 we are looking for. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, so that's 12 plus 6, that's 18 points. And 18 points is kind of okay. I might want to stop here, yeah. For 8 points, we will go with this Foxling here again. That's another green card, so we are now at 4. And I have 10 points left, so I will go for another cage. Again, in theory, you could, this would have been a green one, but it helps me anyway. So right now, I'm at 5 out of 7 cards. I think this should be possible to deal with. And we still have some upgrades, and this will be pretty powerful actually. So I have 3 updates here in total. 1, 2, and 3. So rolling 5 black dice and 1 green die. And whenever I do 2 more upgrades, I even get 2 more cages. So I could win the game just by that right now. I mean, that's not terrible at all, right? That's pretty cool. Oh, and I just noticed something. Good that I checked again. The other victory condition is there must be no green monster in the display. If I don't make it, I will lose. So in this case, I really have to go for this Bufomorph here. It's 23 points in total, but I have to clear all green monsters out there. That's our mission. Oh wow, okay, that's bad. But I think it also helps me in my decision making going with the green camp again. So 1 green die, and now it's 5 of those blackish dice. Okay, that's what it is. And I believe I forgot to reveal a new card. And it's another green one. Okay, now the game is against me. Originally I thought, okay, having a lot of green monsters out there would be the best thing to do. But in this case, after reading it again, you don't want that many green monsters out there. So now I have to get rid of both of those suckers here. Oh boy. So yeah, let's see. Let's roll some actual dice. Okay. Ooh, that's... Okay, do I like this? Do I want to go for the 2 5s or for the 2 6s now? It's both tempting. This could be an 8 actually. So let's go for the 2... No... Well, let's go for the 2 5s. I don't know why, but this could still be an 8 or a 7, the green die. So we might do better, but we might not maybe. Okay, so that's 16 points in total. So in theory, I could now stop here because I could still bust with a 1 and a 5. But I think let's continue to roll. We have to make some more progress. And that's a 6. Oh, wow. Awfully close, but I think it doesn't really help me now actually. So again, that's 16, 22 points. You must be kidding me. That's not good enough to get this one here. That's 23, and it's not good enough to get this one and a cage. Okay, in this case we have to go for this card here, so we are now at 6, but again we will not auto win because there is still a green monster out there, but there are still some upgrades to be done. So in this case we have 2 3s, 1 goes here, 1 goes there. We have passed over this, which means we are getting 2 more cages. Again, it doesn't really matter what those are. But we have now, I think, 8 cards in total. So in theory, we would have won the game. The problem is we still need to get rid of that Bufomorph up there. And we have to bring out yet another card. And don't let this be a green one. Okay, so with 7 dice now, we have to roll 23 points. That's our goal. We still have 2 more rounds to go, actually. So I think that's kind of okay, but this last card might as well be another green one, and then I'm really in a bad shape. But I think there is no choice but using this green camp here again. So that's 1 green and 6 of those black dice here, and we need a 23, easy as that. So let's check it out, and okay, that's not too bad actually. I think I might want to hold on to the 7 because I cannot bust with a 7. That's really something that's helpful. So whatever I'm rolling here, at least I get 1 more roll. That's certain. And I really needed more 6s actually. 3 3s. What would 3 3s do for me actually? That's 9. That's 16 points in total. That's not too bad actually, but then I still have to roll an awful lot. No, I think we have to go for the 6 now. That's 13 points. So we need 2 5s and then we have won the game. And these are the 2 5s. Are you kidding me? Let's tally up again. So that's 10, 17, 23 points, which is exactly enough to grab the last monster here from the deck, the Bufomorph. There are no other green monsters out there again. This is a wild, but it doesn't count. The rules is explicitly stated for this scenario. These doesn't count. So I will basically end the game with, how much do we have? 8, 9 monsters in total. There are no green monsters out, so we were successful. But it was awfully close, and let's check out that last remaining card here. And no, okay, it was not a green one, so I would have at least 1 more round. So what would have happened? We would have brought this one out here, and then I would have 1 final round to pretty much achieve our goal. Because again, we are winning automatically. And only when we no longer can bring out a new card, then we would have lost the game. There were never 13 cards out there. I think this was a good damage control. So, but it was still relatively close. I had 1 more turn left. So I think overall it really feels challenging. Maybe let's have a quick look at some of the other expeditions here. This one here, for example, says you have to own at least 6 cages. Doesn't really sound too bad, actually. Expedition 4 says you have to have 2 of your camps on the last upgrade. So basically like what we did here for the green camp. So they needed to be both on this camp. This is, I think, a little bit more challenging, actually, because you're really relying heavily on low numbers to some extent, but on the same time you also have to roll high numbers in order to make sure you are not exceeding the 12 cards here, for example. I think with the 13th card you automatically lose the game, right? It's 13 or more. Is it 13? Yeah, when there are 13 cards, then I also automatically lose. So you cannot really afford to have too many cards out here. So that also sounds relatively challenging, actually. This one here says in the offering there are only maximum 7 cards and I have to have at least 1 cage. So this is something I really don't know. Here's Expedition 5. I have to have at least 6 cages, but there are some extra rules for this. And I think overall there are 10 of those expeditions in the game. So yes, there is definitely some variety in respect to the solo rules. And I think the idea is really you have to go from start to the finish, start with Expedition 1 all the way down to 10. And I think you can consider a win if you really went through all of those expeditions in a row successfully. I think that's how it counts, and this is how it's challenging. The game is relatively quick, as you can see. I think without talking me too much, I think you can play through those 10 expeditions in one longer afternoon. Pretty sure about that. But for today, I'm pretty happy that I have beaten this second scenario. It felt kind of close. There's this really nice push your luck element, which I absolutely like in this game, or in games after all. So yeah, really a very enjoyable experience. Again, I really hope you enjoyed my little solo playthrough of Monster Expedition here today. Keep in mind, I already did a 3-player playthrough of Monster Expedition. You will definitely find it, and I'm pretty sure I will link it somewhere here in this video if you're interested in how different it is. There are definitely some differences, so there are some nice synergy effects in respect to some of those monsters. Sometimes you can steal from other players, but it's really not that punishing as it sounds. You get a card and usually it's 1 victory point or so. Sometimes it's a little bit more, so it's really not that bad at all. Again, there are definitely some minor differences when playing this game solo compared to the multiplayer experience. A huge shout out to all of my patrons. Really do appreciate your support. Again, if you want to support my show, you will find a link to my Patreon in the description of this video, and pretty sure it will pop up somewhere during this video. You can also directly support me here on YouTube by joining my community. Really appreciate that too. Like and subscribe, as usual. Everything helps, and hope to see you soon in one of my other videos. And until then, bye bye.